Listen to me. Whoa. Hold on. You're telling me that the owner didn't go out to find his dog? I mean, you gotta think. You got a responsibility to go out there and find your fucking dog. Okay? I mean, what do you think? You're in the studio that comes out with all these original ideas. You know, you got Pixar, you got, original action movies, you got kids films, live action, animation, The Lion King, Aladdin, National Treasure, The Mighty Ducks, Blank Check, The Fox and the Hound, Cinderella, Sleeping Beauty, Aladdin, la 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 la. And you abandon your original material? You abandon it? You go off and make Marvel movies and Star Wars shit that doesn't work at a certain point? And what happened to your original sports movies? What happened? You have a responsibility to the audience to make original material. We're tired of Marvel and Star Wars. We want to get back to what we loved about Disney. So, Disney, get out there and start making the fucking original material. The stuff that we grew up with as young kids. And we still love today. I don't go back and watch Disney Plus to watch Star Wars. I don't. Sorry. Unless it's like the prequel, the original trilogy that weren't made by Disney. I go back and watch the original movies I grew up with. The National Treasures, the Pirates of the Caribbean, the Blank Check. I would love to have a blank check these days. But, hey, Johnny Tsunami, Horse Sense, Jumping Ship, Smart House, Miracle in Lane 2, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century, all those movies, The 13th Year, like I said, King and King Arthur's Court, Heavyweights, even though, let's face it, Heavyweights, the fat people start out in the movie fat, and they end the movie fat. There's no character arc. They're still fat at the end of the movie. They got on the scale, but they never lost the weight when they got back on the scale. But Disney, we need to go back to original material. Alright? And that's why this weekend you finally put out a movie. An original sports movie in the theater. Way to go. Way to go. I love you. Love you for it. Let's get on with it. Welcome back, everybody. Matt the Man here. Hope you're doing well. So this weekend we finally had a new, original Disney movie in the theater. What do you think about that? That's right, Disney, the puppy finally came home. The puppy's been gone for 10 years. Man, that puppy has a long life. Do you remember the sports movies that Disney used to make? Remember the Titans, The Rookie, Invincible, Miracle, $1 Million Arm, McFarland USA. Glory Road. They made baseball, they made basketball, they made football, they made hockey, they made track. These were movies that people loved to go see. Uplifting, based on a true story, underdog. And then nothing. No. Disney hasn't made original material other than for Pixar in I don't know how long. 4 years? No, well that actually wasn't even original. The Black Beauty movie that came out in 2020, that was supposed to go to theaters, but because of the pandemic, they put it on Disney Plus. That was the last truly live action something or other. I mean, and then before that was the Nutcracker in the Four Realms. Disney. And this movie that I'm about to talk about was supposed to go straight to Disney Plus. Huh? You have original sports underdog based on a true story movie, and you were going to put this on Disney Plus? And Happy Gilmore every time he did something stupid. You have that one guy? That's like now with Disney. Everything they put out. The Young Woman and the Sea. This is based on a true story about the young woman, Trudy Ederle, who in the 1920s became one of the first women to swim the English Channel, 21 miles. I really enjoyed this movie. Like I said, I love when Disney make their sports movies. Do they have a certain trope? Yes. If they are based on true stories, you know the outcome is going to be good. Disney does not make movies where the outcome is not good. But once again, it's uplifting. It's an underdog story. It lets people know, even if you're, poor or an immigrant or, have health issues, you can become that person that rises up to the occasion. And in this case, with Trudy Ederle, she was not only a female in the 1920s, in the early 1900s, where women would basically stay home, make dinner, that's it, there you go, thank you, and push out kids. That's basically their job back then. So when you have one woman, a young teenage, young adult, who wants to swim, which even then was not allowed, but then not only that, but she has health issues, where she almost died of the measles, and has hearing loss from it. It's like, you don't need to get water in your ears. You don't need an ear infection on top of it. She rose to the occasion. And yes, you got that trope of that one parent. A lot of times it's the father. You don't need to waste your time doing that. You need to be doing this over here. Like The Rookie. Brian Cox was the father. You don't need to waste your time playing baseball. Go be your science teacher and raise your family. Or, October Sky, even though it's not a Disney movie. Stop, shooting off rockets like Werner von Braun and Cape Canaveral and go to school, work in the coal mine, like me. I love these movies because they are based on true stories. So it shows people, especially nowadays where people are so fucking lazy and the way our world is now is so like, whoa, it's like, when you don't make these movies that much anymore, that's a problem for our society. What does our society look up to? What movies like Rocky, especially sports movies. To me, sports movies are. I like watching my sports movies. Why not? Who doesn't? But they give you that foundation, that overcoming problems, obstacles. If you are that underdog to rise. I grew up on these movies. I also played sports. And I was also considered an underdog on so many levels. And so many things, and you go, he went from this to that. How? He had every obstacle in the book thrown at him. But somehow he rose up. And that's the type of movies we need to see more of. You know, we need to see more of that. And we don't get that. And this is a great example of we need movies like this nowadays. Let's get into the positives. Daisy Ridley. Daisy Ridley obviously is known for the recent Star Wars sequels as Rey. Here she plays the main character who originally it was supposed to be Lily James, but because of scheduling conflicts and kept delaying the movie to when they were going to start shooting, she had to drop out. Daisy Ridley does a great job here. It's nice to see her outside of Star Wars. Also, it's nice because I haven't watched a Star Wars movie that has had her in it in 5 years. I don't really connect her with Star Wars, thank God. But still, it's so nice to see her outside of Star Wars to see what else she can do. And she does a great job. She has great chemistry with her sister in the movie. Tilda Hervey, I think that's how you say it. They both have great chemistry. They look very similar. You completely believe their relationship as sisters, that bond. Also, Ridley really brings that determination throughout the movie, like a little hard-headed stubbornness to her. She has fights with her father because like that he's the one that you're not going to swim, you're not going to do any of that, and she goes head to head with him and doesn't ever back down from him. Her relationship with her mother, played by Jeanette Hayne, I really like their bond. Their relationship is very different from the sisters, but it's great because there's not much dialogue between the mother and Daisy Ridley, but somehow you understand everything they are thinking without them having to say anything. And it's a great, those scenes are perfect. Cinematography in this movie has more muted colors. They're not bright and cheerful and, happy. Like I said, this was a difficult time for women in the early 1900s. And like I said, the cinematography shows kind of like that dark, time in a way. And it's represented through the cinematography. And I really like that. It brings this unique look to the movie that you also don't get in all the other sports biofilms. So the production and costume design, all the wardrobe in the early 1900s to around the 1920s, when Daisy Ridley's character starts swimming. I really like that. Plus, the set in New Jersey and New York, so you also get that set design, that, 1900s New York, 1900s New Jersey. They go to the pier of Coney Island. All of that is great. You can see that Disney did it. That's why I'm kind of crazy to say, you were going to put this on Disney Plus? This is a theatrical experience. This production design, set design, costume design, top notch. Spared no expense. There's a lot of humor in the movie. A lot of it comes from Daisy Ridley. Like I said, not letting her father, push her around because she has her own little quips. Or like when her sister is about to have an arranged marriage/date. They pull something off that's really funny. I thought the sister, played by Tilda Hervey, was really good. Instead of being like a background character, she really was still a main focus. You still saw her journey throughout the movie. And I thought the actress did a really good job. This movie has a lot of great supporting cast. You got Christopher Eccleston from movies like Gone in 60 Seconds, to Thor: The Dark World, where he played the villain. He plays the swim coach. You got Stephen Graham in here, who's been in a lot of stuff like all the way back to like Public Enemies. He's one of a swimmer that almost swam the English Channel. So like he also got some great supporting characters in this movie. I think the director, I'm gonna butcher this name, Joachim Ronning. He directed the last Pirates of the Caribbean movie, Pirates of the Caribbean, The Dead Man Tell No Tales. He also directed the second Maleficent movie, Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. And I have to say, this is his best movie, easily. The last Pirates movie definitely wasn't the best. And nobody talked about that Maleficent sequel because it wasn't good. He's also right now currently directing the Tron 3 for Disney, Tron Ares. So he's definitely on the Disney payroll. He's working already on his fourth Disney movie. I think he does a really good job here as a director, getting the acting out of all his actors, the look of the movie, the cinematography, the editing, the set design, production design, costume design. Even the music, the score for this movie really worked. So I think this is easily his best directing work so far in his career. What else? The themes. Once again, this movie has a lot of interesting themes. And I like that Disney did not go down that whole, female, strong, men, bad. What they've been doing with a lot of their stuff. Even though this is a movie in a male-dominant world and women were not treated right back then, but that was actual history. So it's not like, oh, they were treated great back then. But Disney wants to, or the other way around, where, oh yeah, they were treated great. Or they were treated like shit back then. But Disney, put them on this totem pole and all the men are assholes. They don't do that in this movie. We don't do that here. They have male characters that are actually good characters. Like even the father, even though he pushes back. But that's a trope we see in a lot of sports movies, or movies based on the underdog trying to rise, and there's some parent, trying to like, no. Even Rudy. And dad's like, you're not gonna go to Notre Dame, you're an idiot. You don't have the brain to go to Notre Dame. Okay? And you're 5 foot. You're not gonna play football for Notre Dame. Don't be a moron. But even though the father, what I really like is what they did with the father in this movie. A lot of these underdog movies, you see that father figure show up at the very end of the movie. Oh, that's my boy. Yeah, I was there the whole time. He actually said that in the movie, which is really funny. But I like that they don't do that in this movie. I won't say how much we see of the father or when we see his turn, but it was a very surprising to see that in the movie. Some of my negatives with this movie. This movie is over 2 hours and 9 minutes. I don't know why we're making 2 hours and 9 minute movies, or every movie that has come out so far in May has been over 2 hours. I think sports movies like this could easily be under 2 hours. This is 2 hours and 9 minutes. I definitely think there are some moments that you could have shortened or cut out and made this an easy hour 45, hour 55 minutes. Cut out 10 minutes here, there, over here. So that's what I think you do. Feel the pacing. A little bit, not really a minor one, but since this girl is in the water for 21 miles in the ocean, dealing with elements and salt and all kinds of other, just nature in general. Being in water for 21 miles and however many days she was in there when she finally gets out of the water, and this is not a spoiler, it's a true story, she looks completely normal, completely fine. Like, there's no skin breakdown, there's no sunburn, there's no, fingers like all wrinkly, or, when you're in the bathtub for too long, your fingers get all wrinkly, nothing. And I thought, I know this is a Hollywood movie and all, and some things they don't make realistic and all that, but when you're in the water for 21 miles, you're not gonna look perfect when you walk out. I mean, you go swimming in the swimming pool for a couple hours, and you come out looking not perfect. I mean, so I thought that was a little odd. I'm like, there's nothing wrong with her. Like, no sunburn, other than some, like, slashes, like from some jellyfish, where she got some cuts. That's about it. Is that we just had a movie like this last fall on Netflix called Naiad with Jodie Foster and Annette Bening, an older woman who's tried so many times to swim from, I don't know if it's the same English channel, but from one end to the other end. And so some people might remember that movie since it was only 6 months ago that it came out. So that might make people so familiar. Like, didn't we just get this movie like 5 or 6 months ago on Netflix? I swear. Definitely think this is one of the best movies that Disney has put out in a long time. They haven't made a sports movie in like 10 years with John Hamm and that $1 million arm. They need to make more sports movies. So I would easily give this like a 4.9 out of 5. It was a really good movie. I highly recommend you go see it in the theater. Also, that's the other thing. Disney put it in limited release. Limited. So I don't even know. It might only be in the theater for a week. Back in the day, a movie like this would be in the theater for months and months and months. Also, back in the day, this movie probably would have been a perfect movie to wait till the fall or around the holidays, so that way all family members can go see it with the family and have a nice family outing with a good movie, with a good message, and a good underdog story. Disney. We gotta bring the puppy back. The puppy needs to find his way home. Home. It's like Happy Gilmore. Get in the home, ball. Don't you like your home? What's wrong with your home? Get in their home. Matt the Bat here. Let me know, did you see Young Woman in the Sea? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Let me know in the comments below. Matt the Bat here.